Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Motley's Investor Circle. Today's video, we are going to talk about Nio and the announcement that they made today. So let's start with some of the format. Today, I'll actually explain, we'll go through the article of what the news is actually about. We can also do a small chart analysis, kind of see price predictions, and then maybe I can tell you about where I'm thinking about buying or where the price could go. So let's take a look at the article that came out today. If you don't know, Nio is actually a Chinese automotive manufacturer. It's actually headquartered in Shanghai. So it's basically the Tesla of China. This was actually founded in 2014. But let's look into the article that came out today. So Nio Day set for January 9th, and what we need to know. So shares, which have seen a loss of momentum in recent weeks, are nicely set up for the new year with a delivery update due in early January and the annual Nio Day scheduled for January 9th. So that's the big announcement article. Nio Day will be January 9th. So basically, what happened? The annual Nio Day event in the past has served as a platform for new product service launches, and it's a very strong catalyst for the stock itself, for the stock price to move up or down. So I'm really thinking we could have a pre-anticipate and like a pre-run up to the event for the stock price, and then this is kind of what to expect, right? So Nio is on track to announce a few launches at the event, which we'll kind of discuss here, including its first sedan, and this would be the company's fourth mass-produced model. So it's already got a few SUV different models. So this will be the first one sedan, and this will probably be Tesla's competitor. And I think that's huge news because it'll take some of the market share. But it's also believed that the company could start mass production at the quarter of 2021, fourth quarter of 2021. So that's not too far out. It's next year, so right around the corner. And then it's also expected to announce a 150 kilowatt hour battery pack that will likely increase the range of its EVs to over 900 kms. As well as the new pack is expected to be compatible with all of the existing Nio models. So that's pretty good news there. That's a huge news. And then I think this is probably a very important note that it says an upgrade to Nio's advanced driver's assistance system platform. It's called NT 2.0. It's also expected to be unveiled at the event. So this could be very huge. It will likely feature LiDAR technology. So there could be sympathy plays for the lighter stocks like Valadon, Luminar, and then I think there's two other SPACs. I don't know the names, but they're coming public with the reverse merger. So be on the lookout for those lighter SPACs because there might be some good gains to take there. So with the company will also announce its second generation battery swap stations. And then why is all this important, right? So I feel like the stock has been beaten down. It's kind of coming back down to low 40s. And with all these upcoming catalysts, I feel like this could be the thing we need to get Nio back up to like 50, 57, right? Investors' expectations in the run-up to the event could lift Nio's shares, which have been range-bound below the all-time highs reached back in November. Okay? I think the only, main stop is this deliveries date, right? So which is due in January. They're supposed to give delivery numbers update for December, and with Nio having deliveries about 10,346 vehicles for the first 2 months of the fourth quarter, the company will need to do about 6.6 thousand in December to hit the high end of its fourth quarter guidance, which is between 16,000 and 17,000. And then here it says that the Nio shares were actually down about 2% at 44.89, but it actually, if we start looking at the price action, I think it closed a bit lower. And so it actually opened at 46.66, and we came all the way down to 44.06. So that's almost a 4% down. So this is actually the daily chart, but we can actually this kind of closed up a little higher, so that's good. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So this is the daily chart, and as I was saying, we opened up pretty high at 46, but it's shot straight down to about 44. And we got the 180 moving average here, and you can see it kind of closed above that, so that's great. Someone did mention they saw a cup forming here. I kind of see it, but it's kind of hard to see. So we'd have to go into the 5-minute chart. I think it'd make it easier to see the cup forming. And I guess there is a cup here. So if this really is a cup, it would have to come down a little bit, and then we could see this probably shoot back up maybe to about the 45. And I know 47 is a very strong resistance. I've traded this stock before, and 47 seems to be very strong resistance for us. But today it did kind of consolidate around the 44, I would say. Let's see, probably about 44.404, I would say, about right here. So it kind of bottomed out, found a nice base here, and then consolidated here, and it looks to be retracing back upwards. So let's go back to the daily chart here, and something that I did notice was it's kind of isolating right here, kind of like it looks like it's gonna consolidate. So it could be a few days before we see some big moves. But we'll put that 44 price that support that we found today. We'll put it like kind of like it's about right here, which you can actually see. It's let's see, it's kind of in between this isolation that we mentioned. So it's moving around this here, and this actually reminds me of a wedge. So it could mean that it's let's see if we can mark some of this stuff out. About right here, I would say. And then I would actually also maybe do about here, I would say, and we could maybe close it out to about there. So it looks like it has a little bit to come down, but for the most part, it looks like it, in my opinion, it could move around here, around the 44 for a while. And then hopefully if it bounces off this, it can move up. And this actually reminds me of this price action with Tesla. So we can look into that. Let's see, where is that? Here we go. So I pulled up Tesla, and something that I noticed was it looks similar to some price action that happened back before this huge run up that we had. And it was just kind of consolidating here, It took a few, maybe even a week or two. But eventually it popped off, right? So I see that similar wedge just kind of forming here. This was Tesla, and I could see this with Nio. So I do expect these catalysts to help boost the stock price. So I think it's a great time to start adding a position here. And you can kind of this wasn't correctly done, but let me do that better. You could even say it's about, well, I'm gonna have to place that there. We could just move it from here and about right there, right? So something along those lines. So that's the wedge there that we were talking about. I think it broke that and it went straight up. So I do see something like that with Nio, possibly, but I think this will probably go further out. Maybe a few more days. So this will be a short week for trading. So next week will be already January, and before you know it, we have January 9th. So I think next week will be a huge week for Nio stock price to either go really high or it could come crashing down, right? But I just don't really see much downside with all the upcoming catalysts. I think we could see, if we can break this wedge here, we could probably break back up to the all-time high, which is about 57. We could break up here. If we can just follow this trend line and break out, we could see 57, and we could probably even break it and go back up past that. So one last thing I want to add is the RSI on the daily is actually looking pretty good. We're around the 40, which is really good for the most part. Nio has stayed in the overbought, but most recently it's been coming down, and so we're kind of in the neutral land right now. We're not really in the bearish or in the overbought or oversold. I think the upcoming catalysts are really good for the stock price. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the analysis. For my price targets, I'm hoping for 57. I actually already started my position today, and I will continue to add on these small moves across until we break back up to the all-time highs. But I hope you enjoyed today's analysis. Make sure you leave a like. Give me your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.